completely dry. If your painting is not dark enough, so because watercolor dries out and it becomes lighter in color, so if you want to go for one more layer, you can go for one more layer, but be careful that if your paper is not a professional quality, good quality paper, if you go for one more layer, it can actually take out the painting that you already applied in the first layer. Okay, so it can turn out to be messy. But if your paper is of good quality and you have given enough time for it to completely dry, have patience for giving it time to completely dry. If it is not completely dry, then also it can go messy. So it's ideal if you leave it for 1 hour. If you're not using a hair dryer, or use a hair dryer to thoroughly dry it. Okay, and after that, again the same process. I'm wetting the area by adding water. This time I will not do too much of brushing and on the paper. Okay, because this is a second layer, and if I apply too much of pressure with my brush to spread the water, the underlying paint can come off. Okay, so what I'm doing, just spreading the water enough, and this time I will spread the water into the starfish only at a later stage, because I don't want the colors to get inside my starfish too much. So I'm going with the borders, not applying the water inside the border. Okay, now again adding water here and spreading the water. I'm spreading, I can see the water here, so I'm spreading the water to those areas where it is not there. As the paper is like kind of buckling up now, the water will not be evenly spread, so I have to use my brush to spread my water into all the areas. I'm adding my water here. Okay, so kind of everywhere the water is spread now. Wherever there is too much water, I'm taking that water into the area where there is less water. Okay, so that it will spread. See, here there is so much of water, so I'm taking it here and spreading it here. Basically it is the process of almost evenly spreading the water into the areas that I want. Okay, now I will spread the water to this also, just the water, so it is completely mixed. Sometimes a little bit of color can come out in the second layer, that's okay. That's the hair coming out from my brush. Okay, so now it is quite evenly wet everywhere, it is wet. Okay, so I want my blue to be darker here, so I'm taking a smaller brush and I'm going to add blue color onto my top portion. This time I'm going with more cerulean, taking off the extra paint, and I'm leaving this kind of untouched. I don't want too much of color there, and I'm going with this movement. You see, I'm spreading it. You can see how I'm observe my brush movement, how I'm doing it. Okay, again going with some more cerulean blue and doing the same thing here in that circular motion. Let me see. I'm just spreading it. I don't want that to be too prominent. Just evenly spreading it here. Bringing it a little closer to my starfish. Okay, now I'm going with this movement. Adding more color. Adjusting the borders. Okay, now I'm going with the bottom portion. Maybe a little bit more of raw sienna. You can give it a wavy kind of a movement, like see this kind of a movement in the second layer. Taking some gray as well. rinsing off my brush, and I'm lifting off any, say I can lift off too much color here, right? So I'm lifting off some color there. You know how to lift now, I told you. Rinsing off, taking off extra water, and taking off some water from the top. Lifting is what I'm doing now. Lifting, you have to get some highlights, okay? Like I don't want the entire area to look brownish, so just getting some highlights by lifting off. Okay, I'm adding some color here. Whenever I want to add from the paint. Okay, now what I need to do, I want some lifting on the top also. Okay, so I'm rinsing off my brush thoroughly, then taking off the extra water. Okay, and slowly getting some highlight here, just touching the tip of it, okay, not much. Taking off the color, taking off the color, taking off the color. Okay, enough. I don't want too much of that ray kind of thing here. And now any puddles formed, okay, so I told you earlier like how the puddles will look like. Anywhere where there is a lot of water logging, take your brush, make it dry like this, and lift off those puddles, okay. And whatever entered here, you can even correct that. So I'm taking my smaller brush, rinsing it off, taking off the extra water, and just lifting off the colors that is entering into my starfish. See, I am able to work on this for a longer period of time because my paper is Arches professional quality paper, and it will stay wet for a longer period of time. That's why I can work on it. So in case your paper is drying fast and you're not able to do this, please check if you have followed all the steps that I've mentioned in the video. Again, from here, see, there is so much of color coming to this area. I don't want that to happen, so I'm lifting off the colors. I'm taking another brush for more stiffness, round brush. You know, this raw sienna can be hard to lift because it is kind of a staining paint, okay, but in case of blue, see, it's easily lifting, right, because it's a non-staining paint. So sometimes if your paint is too staining, this may not come out as expected. See here also. Why I didn't mask the starfish is because if you're not masking it, it will give you kind of a nice glow effect. You're seeing it here, right? Otherwise, you may get some hard edges at the masked area. It may look a little artificial, like a little amateurish if you are using masking fluid and you're getting hard edges. Then you'll have to remove the hard edges. That is possible. Okay, I think it is almost done. Now I can use a hair dryer to get this cleaned. See, here it is quite difficult to lift off the colors because it is a staining paint. Now we are kind of okay. Done. Now we can let it dry or use a hair dryer to dry it. Okay.